Hello there guys, welcome to another of my videos. So Manchester United and Arsenal eye Antonio Greizeman from Barcelona. So yeah, Premier League clubs have been put on red alert. Antoine Greizeman now could be leaving Barcelona. The main explanation is because Lionel Messi has decided now to stay with Barcelona. Obviously, a few weeks ago, Lionel Messi put a transfer request in at Barcelona, and it was looking very, very likely that he was gonna leave. And at that point, Antonio Greizeman was promised Messi's role. It was Ronald Koeman that had promised Antoine Greizeman this. But yeah, Greizeman has only been at Barcelona for one season. He has got a release clause of 720 million in his contract. Greizeman, I think, is under contract with Barcelona until 2024. Now, Barcelona did pay around £108 million for Greizeman from Atletico Madrid last summer. Greizeman has spent the entirety of his career so far in Spain. He did endure around 5 years with Atletico Madrid. I think he scored around 133 goals in 256 games in all competitions. Before he was at Atletico Madrid, he was at Real Sociedad. Barcelona, I think have let a few of their players go recently. Ivan Rakitic left Barcelona to go to Sevilla, and Luis Suarez is set to join Juventus. Antonio Greizeman is in his late 20s now. His versatility is very, very good. He's predominantly a striker, but he can also play on each flank. He can be deployed as a central midfielder, and he can also be deployed as an attacking midfielder. Now, don't forget, around 3 years ago now, Manchester United came very, very close to signing Greizeman. This is obviously when he was at Atletico Madrid, but obviously due to Atletico Madrid's transfer ban, we could not get the player on the board. Don't forget, Greizeman has got a very, very good friendship with Paul Pogba. He obviously hasn't played in the Premier League as yet, so if Greizeman did come to the Premier League, do you think he'd exceed expectations? Barcelona obviously won't recoup the £108 million that they paid for him. They could still maybe get from between £60 to £70 million. So yeah, by the way, Greizeman has missed 3 straight penalties for France. So now, I just want to delve into another topic. So, Ole Gunnar Solsjaer is frustrated with Ed Woodward over the lack of transfer business this summer. And Solskjaer's also angry over the Jadon Sancho deal. You know, Solskjaer has told Ed Woodward that he wants Manchester United to sign Jadon Sancho, and he's told Woodward to fix it. Now, obviously, Jadon Sancho is our number 1 priority target. I think Solskjaer several times has held talks with Jadon Sancho over the move to Man United. Don't forget, Sancho did recently say that he has got no issue of the transfer speculation linking him with a move to Manchester United. Sancho is humbled by the £108 million price tag that Borussia Dortmund are demanding from Manchester United, and Sancho says he will stay patient, throughout the course of his career. We are set to finalise the salary and the fees of Jadon Sancho's agent before we put a bid in for the player. I think the wage demands are a stumbling block, and throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, it has been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has also been the stumbling block. Like I said, Borussia Dortmund's valuation is around £108 million. They have obviously been looking for like £90 million up front, but we're only willing to pay like £60 or £70 million up front. I think Jadon Sancho is an exceptional player, but I don't think he's worth what Dortmund are demanding. I think he's worth in between £70 to £80 million. Obviously, a few weeks ago, Sancho to Manchester United looked dead in the water because obviously you had Borussia Dortmund's CEO, sporting director Michael Zorg, and another one of their directors saying that Sancho is staying at Borussia Dortmund. We haven't given up on the signing of the player. He said, we will only give up if Sancho publicly says that he wants to stay at Borussia Dortmund. But Dortmund are convinced he will stay for at least one more season. He said a few weeks ago that we had abandoned our chase for the player until the summer of 2021. Now, around 3 or 4 weeks ago, it was looking very, very imminent that Manchester United were going to sign Sancho, because obviously Fabrizio Romano had come out and said that Sancho agreed personal terms with the club, and he said he was set to sign a 5-year contract with the club. But just after that, it said that talks had broken down. A few experts have spoken about this Jadon Sancho transfer saga. Obviously, Christian Falk, he's spoken about it a few times. James Cooper a few weeks ago, he also spoken about it, and he's close to Man United, and he says that Sancho, to Man United will happen in this summer transfer window. Sancho has said quite a few times though that he wants to come to the football club. Sancho has endured 3 years with Borussia Dortmund. Like I said, he's been exceptional since his arrival in Germany. Dortmund only paid £8 million in from Man City back in 2017. He endured a few years at Man City, but the main explanation why he left City is because he did not get assured any first team opportunities. If Sancho is sold in this summer transfer window, City will benefit from it, so it's good from their perspective because they'll get around the 15% transfer fee, won't they? I think Sancho has still got a contract with Dortmund until 2022. But I've already outlined the reasons why I want him at Man United. Very good friendship with Rashford. Would fulfill number 7 fantastically well. Don't forget we've promised in the number 7. We have got number 7 vacant at the moment. He's predominantly a right winger. And he's still very, very young. I still think Sancho is only the age of 20. We have been looking at a lot of alternatives, don't forget, because there is much cheaper solutions than him. Obviously, we've been looking at the likes of Kingsley Coman, Ousmane Dembele, Rabbi Matondo, Douglas Costa from Juventus and that. But I want us to get Sancho because I think we've missed out on 2 players at the moment under Solsjaer, and that was obviously Erling Haaland and Jude Bellingham. So that's a bit of news on him. But like I've said to you, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is progressing as Manchester United manager, and he's not to blame for the lack of transfer activity. Like I've said to you, the board are to blame. Obviously Woodward has been at the football club since 2012. And the Glazers have been at the football club since 2005. So Woodward's been with us 8 years and the Glazers have been with us around 15 years. But our recruitment policy's been poor for several years. We have spent big on players in recent years. We paid £75 million for Lukaku, £89 million for Paul Pogba, £80 million for Harry Maguire, £52 million for Fred, £40 million for Matic. Got Anwan Bissaka in a deal worth £50 million last summer from Palace. And but Ed Woodward did say, didn't he, quite a few times that he's determined to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in this summer transfer window. He also showed quite a few times at the first part of last season that his job is safe. Even though the first part of last season we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. And the Glazers have said a few times they are determined to back him. Solskjaer deserves to get the backing he wants in this summer transfer window. Since like the Jose Mourinho era, we have been in the process of trying to get a director of footballing. I said, didn't I, it would be beneficial if we could get a director of footballing because it'd give Ole Gunnar Solsjaer the help that he needs. I said if we was to get a director of footballing as well, we need someone with the right philosophy, someone who knows the culture of the club, and someone who has got that experience. But Woodward has said quite a few times he wants to get a director of footballing at Manchester United. But there has been so many players on our agenda. Obviously we've got our first signing of this summer transfer window. That is Donny van de Beek. Obviously we got Donny van de Beek in a deal worth £39 million. We paid just over £34 million for him up front with like 4.4 million in add-ons. Donny van de Beek has signed a 5-year contract with Manchester United. Obviously that keeps him with us until 2025. There's also an option of a further year. He recently played in Netherlands game against Poland. Obviously now he is at the UK. And obviously last Monday he completed his medical in the Netherlands. But I really believe that Donny van de Beek I do believe he can play alongside Pogba and Bruno Fernandes in our midfield, and I think he'll complement them fantastically well. That's a fantastic midfield trio. And as you all know, Donny van de Beek is going to be wearing the number 34 shirt. And I presume he will be making his debut against Crystal Palace on the opening day of the Premier League season. But we know that we need more than Donny van de Beek at Manchester United. Solskjaer's come out and said he wants to make 3 more signings after Donny van de Beek. Because obviously Solskjaer is looking to improve the squad. Because there's still key areas where Manchester United are lacking. We need a winner, we need a centre-half, despite the fact that we have got 7 centre-halves in the team. And obviously, we are trying to get a left-back in. The news on Sergio Reguilón from Real Madrid. Fabrizio Romano has come out and said that Real Madrid have offered Sergio Reguilón to Manchester United. It recently said that we'd put a bid in of around £27 million. Real Madrid do value him in the £20 million range. But we could settle for a loan deal. I don't think Real Madrid have yet decided whether they're going to sell him permanently. But we will decide on Sergio Reguilón very, very soon. I think Tottenham are going to make a late approach for him. Arsenal have now expressed their interest. But I think we need a left-back because we've got 2 predominant left-backs at the moment, and that is Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams. Obviously, Luke Shaw is our first choice left-back. Brandon Williams is our backup left-back. Sergio Reguilón's been at Real Madrid for several years. Obviously, last season he was out on loan with Sevilla, where I think he played like 38 games in all competitions. He also had loan spells with Logroñés. And he has got a contract with Real Madrid until 2023. Obviously, he can't get in Real Madrid's team because Zinedine Zidane prefers Ferland, Mendy and Marcelo ahead of Sergio Reguilón. He's only 23 years of age, so if he came to the Premier League, do you think he would exceed expectations? Obviously, on my recent video, I give you the news on Thiago Alcantara from Bayern Munich. I think now he could end up staying at Bayern Munich, but he's denied asking Munich to leave. He has definitely denied this. But he's refused to comment on transfers to Manchester United and Liverpool. It recently says, that Barcelona are in for him. Don't forget Thiago is a former Barcelona player, but I can't see Manchester United getting him on the board. But the summer transfer window has been open for over 5 weeks now. I think it's like a month until it shuts. But Man United have definitely got to make more signings. This summer transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United. So far at the football club, he has spent over £200 million. Obviously, he's made 5 permanent signings, and obviously he's brought someone in on loan. Last summer he brought Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And in January he brought Bruno Fernandes and Odi Nagalo in on loan. And obviously recently we got Donny van der Beek. And also he's brought a few academy players into the football club. So it's good that he's brought he's bringing young players in, and there's a lot of good young players coming through at Manchester United. But like I said, Solsjaer has been at Manchester United now around, is it 20 months, nearly 21 months? So he's been at the club now nearly 2 years, and I have taken positives from his tenure so far. Like I said, our recruitment has improved under him. Solskjaer's got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into Manchester United. I think the way he promoted the youth last season was very, very good. Our record against the top 6 sides last season was good as well. So yeah. So I have definitely seen improvements. Don't forget we're unbeaten in the league since January. We are unbeaten in our last 14 league games. We also went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions until Chelsea had beaten us in the FA Cup semi-final. But we have been in our best vein of form since Solskjaer was the interim manager. Obviously when Solskjaer was the interim manager, I think we won, our first 8 games. We won, 8 or 9 away games on the trot. And in total, we won 14 games out of 19 in all competitions. And that was obviously enough to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the job permanently. Last season was obviously Solskjaer's first full season at Manchester United. And to be quite honest with you, I think he did exceed most of his expectations. Obviously got us to 3 semi-finals. Got us to the FA Cup semi-final. Got us to the Europa League semi-final. And also got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. But Solskjaer obviously said that semi-finals are not good enough. We also got qualification for the Champions League. And I did say how important Champions League was for our players, attracting players and for the financial structure. And we also finished 3rd. So didn't do so bad in his first full season. But obviously this season is going to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's second full season at the club. And if things were to go wrong this season, then I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be under serious pressure again. So this is why I said, it's very, very imperative that we do have a strong start to this season. But I said, didn't I, Solskjaer deserves another season at Man United either way, because it is a transition period, and it has been a transition period for a while. Like I've said, the vast majority of this team is not Solskjaer's. Obviously, Solskjaer's inheriting players from the Jose Mourinho era. Jose Mourinho recommended 11 players into the football club. He brought the likes of Mkhitaryan in, Sanchez, Ibrahimovic, Fred, Pogba, Lukaku, Lee Grant, Diego Dalot, Victor Lindelof, Eric Bailly. These are all the players that Diego Dalot, he's another one. But there's only a few players that have left who obviously Jose Mourinho brought in. So the vast majority of this team is, Jose Mourinho's. Obviously, Louis van Gaal, he brought 16 players into the club. He brought the likes of Schneiderlin in, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Di Maria, Falcao, Memphis Depay, Rojo, Darmian, Blind, Romero, Herrera, Martial, Shaw. But the vast majority of the players that Van Gaal brought in have obviously left the club. But there's still a few here from the Van Gaal era. Obviously, Moyes only brought 2 players in. He brought Marian Fellaini in, and he brought Juan Mata in. And obviously, Fellaini's no longer here, but Mata is still here from the Moyes era. And there's still a couple of players here from the Ferguson era. I think the only players that are here now from the Ferguson era is obviously De Gea, Phil Jones, and obviously Chris Smalling. But like I said, this season, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to have bigger expectations to exceed. Our expectations this season will be to challenge for the Premier League title, because we haven't won the Premier League since 2013 and we haven't mounted any title challenge up in the last 7 years. So that just proves how inconsistent we have been, because in the last 7 years, obviously, we've made mistakes. That's one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent. Obviously, we've had different managers with different philosophies. Obviously, we sacked Moyes, we sacked Van Gaal, and we sacked Jose Mourinho. We spent close to the £1 billion range in the last 7 years on players, and we've recruited over 30 players in since the Ferguson era. But there's been a lot of problems at the football club for the last 7 years. And I think we've got to win a trophy under Solsjaer. We came close last season, but wasn't good enough. We haven't won out in terms of silverware yet under Solsjaer, and we haven't won a major honour for over 30 years. And this is the first time this has happened in we haven't won a major honour, in the last 3 years, yeah. And this is the first time it's happened, yeah, in 31 years. So this season, Solskjaer must exceed expectations at Manchester United. He really, really must. But I don't know if he's the right manager for Man United. Like I've already said, this season is going to tell the story if he is the right manager. Like I said, Solskjaer's got to put Dean Henderson as number 1 for this season. I think Dean Henderson is now reliable enough to become our number 1 goalkeeper. Solskjaer's facing a goalkeeping dilemma. Solskjaer's already made his decision on Harry Maguire. He's going to keep the captaincy this season. Paul Pogba, we've got to get him a new long-term contract at the football club. There was reports coming out yesterday saying that Paul Pogba is refusing to sign a new contract at Man United because he's waiting for Juventus to make an offer. So Paul Pogba could still possibly leave the football club in January. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. Obviously, Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, came out the other week and he said that Pogba's staying at Man United, and he said he will hold talks over a new contract. Don't forget, Paul Pogba recently got tested positive for coronavirus, didn't he? So there's a few things we have got to do. Obviously, players are going to leave the football club in this summer transfer window, so we'll generate money there, and it will help us with our rebuilding process. We're looking to get rid of the likes of Lingard, Andres Pereira. We're looking to get rid of Smalling, Rojo, Jones, Delors. Obviously, Sergio Romero is open to leaving Manchester United. But yeah, so imperative we get rid of players in this summer transfer window. Also very imperative that we keep the players that are imperative. It's very imperative we keep Martial, keep Rashford, keep the likes of Greenwood. Don't forget Greenwood was recently given the number 11. Keep Brandon Williams. He's a good backup at the moment, but I think maybe next year or two will become our first choice left back. Don't forget Williams was recently given the number 33 shirt. I'd keep McTominay. I'd keep Fred. There's been rumours of Fred leaving. Obviously, Fred's going to find game time very, very difficult now. Keep Matic for this season. Obviously, keep Pogba. Keep the signings Solskjaer's brought in. A lot of United fans have said that David De Gea should leave, but obviously David De Gea isn't going to leave in this summer transfer window. I don't know if we are going to win a title under Solskjaer. I really, really don't. But I think for us to win the title, we've got to make at least 5 signings in this summer transfer window. We won't win the title this season, but we could win it maybe within the next 2, 3, maybe even 4 years. We could do that. But obviously there's teams that are much better than us at the moment. City strides ahead of us, Liverpool strides ahead of us. Chelsea I think are going to be up there this season as well. Chelsea have done fantastic recruitment. They've brought players like Ziyech, Timo Werner, Ben Chilwell, Havertz, Milan Sarr, Thiago Silva. Mendy as well, he's another one. I think they're close to getting in. Chelsea obviously want a keeper to replace Kepa Arrizabalaga. City, they've obviously brought Ferran Torres in and Nathan Ake from Bournemouth. Tottenham, they've made some signings as well. Obviously, they got Holberg from Southampton, Joe Hart on a free. They got that Doherty as well. Wolves have just recently signed Fabio Silva. Liverpool, they got Tsikmas from Olympiacos. Arsenal, they got Gabriel Magalhaes from Lille and Willian on A3. You know, so some teams are doing a very, very good transfer business. They really, really are. But like I've said to you before, I think it's going to be hard for any manager at Manchester United to replicate Ferguson's legacy or to last as long as Ferguson did, because don't forget, Alex Ferguson endured 20 odd years at Manchester United, won a total of 38 major honours. That was obviously including 13 Premier League titles. We are the most successful team in Premier League history, but don't forget Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club. You know, another example, you know, Klopp didn't settle in straight away at Liverpool, and people believe if we give Solsjaer time, he can emulate into the next Jurgen Klopp. You know, but most of our success came under Ferguson. You know, in the entirety of our history, we have won 45 trophies. We've only won 3 trophies since Ferguson left, and that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League and the League Cup under Jose Mourinho. We didn't really win much trophies. We didn't really win many trophies, before Ferguson came in, did we? Obviously under Ron Atkinson, you know, we weren't good. Under Franco Fowler, we weren't good. And under Wilf McGuinness, we weren't good. You know, we won a few FA Cups here and there in the 70s and that, didn't we? But, yeah. It's also good as well, since Solskjaer's come in, you know, we've extended a lot of players' contracts. The recent players to sign new contracts for Man United were obviously Brandon Williams. He signed a 4-year deal. You had Dean Henderson the other week. He signed a 5-year deal with the club. Matic not so long ago signed a 3-year deal. Second game after lockdown, McTominay signed a 5-year deal. So it's good that we're extending players' contracts. I think we've given some players contracts though who we shouldn't have given contracts to. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm hoping to see improvements this season at Man United. I really, really am. I'm hoping to see this season that some players step up to the plate, because some players have obviously been underperforming. I'm hoping to see this season that there's aspects of our game that also improve. And I'm hoping to see this season that Solskjaer improves his decision making as well. This season, Solskjaer will go a lot with that 4-2-3-1 formation like he did last season. And I presume in the opening day against Crystal Palace, Solskjaer will go with his strongest 11. Obviously, he knows his strongest 11 now. I think we should have a fully fit squad for this season. I don't know how severe Rashford's ankle injury is, to be honest with you. Luke Shaw got an ankle injury towards the end of last season. Phil Jones and obviously Alex Tuanzebe, they also got an injury. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.